Alright, so how should I begin this? Maybe with a little bit of this. I don't know. Maybe something like that. I apologize. Greetings, campers, and welcome to DeFrehn Live. I'm your host, DeFrehn. Now, I don't really know what to say, so let's just jump into it. So, if you follow me on Twitter, you might know that I've been working on a concept that I had not too long ago. In fact, I think it started I want to say 2 days ago, I initially thought of it. So, I was just reciting some movie in my head, and then let's see. It was called 8 Crazy Nights. And there was a song in it called That's a Technical Foul. Or at least I think that's what it's called. And there was a line in there that resonated with me. I think it goes a little something like this. There are certain rules that apply in one's life with your sister, friends, or imaginary wife. And that's when I had the idea, wait a minute. I should, make a story all about it. An imaginary girlfriend or something like that. But after some consideration, I decided to change the relationship to an imaginary sister. I don't know. It's just something that I thought about. And you know what? Let's just jump into it. So, hang on, yeah, here we are. This is what was initially shown on my Twitter. Now, not much is really worth showing here. So, this was the initial sketch. As you can see, I was going for a more 1950s stylized thing. You know what I'm talking about. It was featured in a lot of old UPA cartoons and commercials and stuff like that. I should probably... Okay. And then... So earlier today I was looking at initial, pieces of commercial art that was done by, I think it was Ray Putin. I think that was his name. He animated a lot of cartoons in the 1930s and 40s, as well as a lot of commercials in the 50s. I don't really know if he has, a specific style, but I know that that kind of style just resonated with me, you know? So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and this is just the style thing. Just in case I need a little reference to see what kind of thickness I would go for the line thing. So, with that said, let's begin. Oh, yeah, and I'm currently in a really busy area, so if you hear any cars, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Wrong layer. Happens to me all the time. I don't know, maybe something like that. Actually, let's just... Yeah, there we go. That's kind of what I was going for. And then... You know what's kind of crazy? I've been noticing that a lot of my favorite YouTubers are streaming today. First there was Harry Partridge, which I ended up... Which I originally wanted to, stay at. But I had things to do, like school, that fun stuff. And then I think Joanna Davidovich is also doing a live stream right now, so... If you like that Neo, UPA, 2000s kind of style, I recommend checking her live stream out. As soon as you're finished with this one. I think I even got a special mention at the beginning of the stream. Not to brag or anything. So, after a couple of duds that have plagued with my other streams, I feel like this one might be my first successful one. At least in terms of, watchability. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of what I was going for. And then... I think I'm just gonna go with 7 for, the entire head. I would put up a reference, but who really wants to see that stuff? Gotta have this all planned out before... whatever. Okay, so... There we go, that's a little more in there. Remember back in 2019 where this would have been a lot more complicated? At least, if you look at my old style from 2019. I'm kind of glad I improved since then. Or maybe devolved, depending on how you see this. Oh yeah, here's another different thing. I made the mouth entirely. I made the mouth entirely black. This was actually, I think, the people over at UPA actually did this back in the 50s. So, yeah. I mean, we're getting there. Yeah, something like that. Okay, how am I going to do this? This is gonna be, like, entirely... You know what, let's try entirely thick and see where this goes. I think I might do something like this. Something like that. Actually, I think I have an idea. Don't know if it's gonna be executed well, but bear with me. Why do I feel like I'm designing, like, a title card for a show from the 50s? You know, something like Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie. Those were both really good shows. And I think WandaVision did that thing too for, like, a couple episodes. I think Titmouse animated that. And yes, I do have a soft spot for Titmouse. After all, they basically shaped how Flash animation could actually be. I mean, did you take a look at Motor City? That looks beautiful. Alright, and then... There we go, it's kind of like what I imagined. Okay, now to execute the other leg. Okay. I might have to... Alright, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. There we go, a little bit of a 3D kind of effect. Do you imagine creating a cartoon in the late 70s or 60s? Not necessarily. I mean, this idea just came to me not long ago, and usually the time period usually comes when I start thinking of a plot, you know? So, of course, the upcoming Little Kate Smith is gonna take place in 1984. Allen's Block, which I previously showcased on my other channel, that's probably gonna take place in the late 90s. And yeah, I think that's mostly what's gonna go down. Okay, now. And then I think this was done in a couple cartoons as well. The Hand in the Pocket. A pose that I don't think I've really done. See, I think I'm actually kind of better at facial expressions than I am at, posing the body. So yeah, the style of this is definitely gonna take like a heavy 1950s influence. And just like Allen's Block, I think the majority of the stories are gonna take place in school. There we go. That should do it. Oh yeah, and the 70s and 60s thing. I actually have a friend that actually has a series that takes place around that time. I forgot what it was called. And I'm not going to name any names, so I'll just leave you to decide. Who the creator is and what the series is called. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see now. Now, this is actually slightly below my usual style, as well as the return of a trope I used to do. I would never really have any details on the ears. I think I started adding details to the ears, I think it was the first time I drew Mojo Jojo. That was when I started adding details to the ears. Anyway. Alright, and then... Now, I've also been watching these Disney Channel Tic Tac things. And then there was this one video where it was basically like, I don't know what it was called. I think it was called like Disney Channel Be Like. And then it basically just shows, you know, like a sitcom kind of thing. But there was also one that basically acted as like a Disney Channel original movie trailer. I think it went a little something like this. Hang on, I gotta prepare myself for this. Hang on. So, it went like this. Medea was an ordinary kid or something. Yeah, I was definitely not prepared for that. So let's just skip to the end. Actually, I think I came up with an idea loosely inspired by it. Mariah was just an ordinary girl. I really can't think of anything. So just think of any stereotypical girly thing to say. Until one day, a foreign exchange student, you know, shows up in her school. Hey, is this where the... Where am I now? Is this math class? Grandpa. And then a laugh track would ensue. And then it would be like, my very old grandpa. Or, rather. No. I came up with a better title. I think it was like... I forgot what it was called. Grandpa, the New Kid. Coming this fall on Disney Channel. Or something like that. If that title comes back to my head, I'll probably make like a full-on script of that. That's not a guaranteed promise, though. When was the last time I made a guaranteed promise? You know, if this were the DeFrehn livestream extravaganza, it would just be me and a couple friends, and we would just bash on Disney Channel original movies. I guess that'll do. Rob Schneider is a carrot, rated PG-13. I don't know. You know what I kind of miss? Back when I did DeFrehn livestream extravaganza, it would just be me, a couple friends that would show up depending on the circumstances. And then I would say one thing and we would just joke about it all the time. And by all the time, I mean throughout the stream. I miss those days. Why did Google Hangout have to shut down? Oh yeah, this guy's supposed to be the principal, by the way. And then I'm just thinking about a skit where if Disney Channel was brutally honest. I think that already exists though. I think that should be updated. I would do the Disney Channel narrator voice, but not right now. Because I really can't think of a thing to say. Chucky, 2002, when he was doing that Shining reference. Was it 2002 or was it like 1997 or? It was definitely one of the. It was probably Bride of Chucky. Meet me back here when I think of a thing to say. And then... Actually, I should make that a little thinner. There we go. That's kind of what I was hoping for. And then we'll make this the same amount. There we go. I think we'll make this one a little lopsided. You know, and maybe throw an extra one in here just for good measure. I think that might be my hidden talent. I could draw hearts upside down. Speaking of hidden talents, I don't really have a lot of them. Besides me being a cook. Or not a cook, a chef, so to say. Actually, not really a chef. But I can cook a mean grilled cheese. Okay, so... No. There we go. And then... And I've been working on another hidden talent thing. all last night I was reciting the traffic law thing from Liar Liar. That was a really good movie. And then I completely forgot about it the next day. Today. I think it went a little something like this. I sped, followed too closely, and I don't remember anything rest of... I failed to yield the crosswalk. I changed lanes at the intersection. I changed lanes without signaling, without running on red light, and... Oh. Yeah. I'm not gonna carry on. But I'm still gonna be practicing it. Until I actually get it right. Not in the stream, though. That's gonna be an after-stream thing. Don't you just hate it when you think of a thing to say and then you immediately forget about it? Like, the very next second, or minute, or hour, or day, or week, or month, or year. I would say something about Dogecoin, but nah. I will say this, though. Poor Elon Musk. He basically turned himself into a laughingstock. Literally, I mean. Wait, why did I immediately say I'm not going to talk about Dogecoin and then immediately talk about Dogecoin? Whatever. Alright. This stream is going to get me cancelled. But whatever, I'm probably going to take that risk or something. I think that was how the theme song went. You and me and you, we got the whole place to ourselves. Me and you are gonna have things to do, so come on down. It is a sweet life. And as you can tell, well, not really tell at all, honestly. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of Stevie T recently. Very funny guy. You know what was truly underrated? Kick Buttowski. I remember I would get up every morning and then I would just watch the show and, be completely invested with Kick Buttowski's adventures. Or rather, Kick's adventures. Great, now I'm probably gonna get a comment saying something like, "Oh, so you're a Kick Buttowski fan, huh? Name every single episode." Or something like that. It's been years since I've watched a show. Since it was basically mistreated by Disney and stuff like that. It's basically, it goes like this. Unless you're Phineas and Ferb, every single Disney show follows the 65 episode cut thing. So it goes a little something like this. If a show reaches its 65th episode, then it automatically gets cancelled, because now Disney has a lot of episodes to rerun over the years. Or something like that. At least that's what I think it is. Wait, didn't I already just say that? Redundant? Much redundant? And you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm probably just gonna have the entire cartoon be in black and white. Because TVs back then didn't really produce any color, so I'm willing to stay true to that specific style thing. And here I go sounding like Hugh Neutron. You see, Jimmy, James, son. Let me tell you something about rockets. They're big people things, son, and I forgot the rest of that line. Let's have pie. If we're coming from the street with dirty shoes on, that's a technical foul. Initially, after hearing that technical foul song, I immediately thought of Family Guy for some reason. Maybe it's because I thought the show, or rather the song, would fit into that show almost seamlessly, honestly. Especially when compared to Frank Sinatra Jr.'s Restaurant. I think that was actually Frank Sinatra Jr.'s final episode of Family Guy before his death. Okay, I think that I think that's I think that's good enough. Oh yeah, I forgot to add some more details. And by details, I mean lack thereof. Something like that. Am I missing anything else? I probably am. There we go. It's starting to look a little. Okay. That looks pretty good. How's it going, John? Okay, and then. You know, looking back at this, it's starting to look a lot less 50s than I initially thought it would be. But yes, I was going for a more 1950s esque style with this. I might copy and paste this to a different layer. So that way it doesn't get in the way of whatever it was supposed to be. There we go. Alright. Why don't you have music in these streams? Because I don't want I don't want the DMCA to go after me, you know? Because you know how they can be with music in their with music in people's streams, you know? I forgot to lock the layer. Or rather, disable or that. Oh, right, I'm not even in that layer. There we go, a little dirt mustache, so to say. Alright. Royalty-free music. You know, I actually do have music in a couple streams. I mean, if you take a look at the intro and the "We'll be right back" things, there actually is music there. And besides, royalty-free music kind of has that, what do you call it, crappy kind of quality. I don't know, something like that. Like, back in the time when I was in the logo community, I remember everybody in Joseph Goes' live stream group thing, they were obsessing over what was essentially a royalty-free track, or something like that. And actually, now that I think about it, I actually have produced some music, but it's mostly sample-based, so I'm not really gonna play it. Really, the only real glimpse you're gonna get of me producing music is if I leak it to a couple Discord servers, and even then, the prototype for the DeFrehn podcast, when I was doing that on YouTube and Twitch, I think I ended up using one of my own tracks. I think that track was called Prayer. And it was mostly supposed to be a Kanye-inspired track. And yes, that is one of my other talent things. I can kind of produce sample-based music. If you want to hear it, DM me on Discord and I'll give you like some kind of link or like a RAR file for it. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I just have an idea. Oh, right. What's your favorite 2000s song? Also, your favorite 90s song? My favorite 2000s song? That is a very, very good question. I think one of my personal favorites was Hey Ya by Outkast. In fact, I think I was a pretty big Outkast fan even back then. Yeah, Hey Ya was basically everywhere when I was born. And Favorite 90s song? Well, I actually like TROY, They Reminisce Over You, Pete Rock, CL Smooth. Either that or Return of the Mac. That was a good song. Oh yeah, I've actually seen some professionals use a grayscale kind of effect to... Wait. I mean, there we go. That should give it that, 1950s kind of aesthetic thing. And because these two are going to be related, same hair color. Because why not? Okay. Now for this one, it's gonna... Now for the teacher's hair, it's gonna be a much lighter gray. Like a silverish kind of. There we go, that's kind of what I was going for. And then we'll make her dress kind of like this color. There we go. It's starting to look pretty good. Actually, yeah, I might change that. Something like this. Ever seen WandaVision? I've only seen the opening intros to it. And I think my brother watched it too. So yeah. Haven't really seen much of it. And I heard Yo Gabba Gabba made a cameo appearance in it. I'm probably gonna do like this 1950s-esque color those in too. I am probably gonna do some kind of effect. Because, you know, she's imaginary. Actually, I think while I'm at it, I might as well add some, like, sparkly effects to it. That way you get the impression that she's magical. Something like that. Alright. Maybe that could work. Actually, before it's... well... maybe we'll brighten up her shirt a little bit. Or rather, gown, I should say. Alright. I wonder what cartoon Pippi Longstocking from the 90s would look like in your 2000s-esque art style. That's a very good idea, honestly. I'll put that in the back burner. And by that I mean I'll think about it. Almost forgot to add a little sleeve there. Actually, the hardest part of this was... the hardest part of this process was actually, you know, studying what people actually wore in the 50s. So, of course, I took some liberties. Or as I like to call them, liberty-bibberties. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. What's your favorite 2000s or 90s game you've ever played? For 2000s, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I mean, that would make a lot of sense since I play more GameCube than Wii. At least, right now I do. As for 90s game, Sonic 3. the main title game. The only reason I don't like Sonic 3 and Knuckles as much is because they replaced the Boss 1 theme. Probably because it was too Michael Jackson-esque. What's your favorite TV production company logo? I'm trying to move on from my logo phase. If you want that question answered, head to my Rebel Remaker channel. Maybe then I will talk. That was kind of a terrible joke. I am very sorry. Alright. You know what? I think that's good enough. Probably gonna have to create like a mid-tone thing just to... Actually, before I do that... And actually, the hardest part about character design is that you have to try to create a unique silhouette. So I'm probably going to go for an off-white. Not entirely white, but white enough to tell you that. Something like this. Yeah, see, here's the difference. Now, if you have HDR on, then you'll definitely see a difference. Those with standard definition range, maybe not so much. Okay. You should look at Urshay's clean line art for his Tintin comics. You know, I was actually kind of looking at that, actually. And I may have worked with that kind of style once. I think it was when I was doing that Dennis the Menace fan art thing. That kind of... Because a lot of my art style was heavily influenced by Charles Schulz and Charlie Brown comics. Actually, just because I feel like it. I'm going to merge all these layers. And then I'll try my best to draw Charlie Brown from memory. Just because I have enough time and stuff like that. Yeah, Charlie Brown is a pretty simple character to draw. And like I said before, I'm not really working with any references. So this is all just from memory. So yeah, that's a half-butchered, half-true Charlie Brown for you. Actually, the more I look at it, it kind of looks like the real early Little Folks Charles Schultz comics. Okay. So, yeah. And I think I mentioned once that Lucy was a lot more fun to draw. Actually, now it feels like I'm drawing Linus. It'll make a bit of a difference once I add the expressions. There we go. I mean, yeah, that's, slightly butchered. There we go. That's a little better, I guess. Not really. Okay. One more before I end up doing something else. Nah. Not gonna attempt it. I think this may have been how Bill Melendez drew Snoopy. Or something like that. There we go, a less butchered Snoopy. Though it all comes down to the body. Not even gonna attempt it. Alright. Yeah, I think that's enough for a visit from the Charlie Brown gang. Alright. Little Lulu. You should look at the Charlie Brown art style. I think it's line art before the clean art process. I'm not really following. But you know what? I might look into Little Lulu a little bit. Or maybe I already did, and... Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I've definitely heard of her. I don't really remember if I've watched any of the cartoons or not. I may have. But I don't guarantee it. Now prepare to... Now, as you watch this picture, or rather, see this picture, I should say, allow me to butcher... Allow me to think of a theme song that would go for this kind of thing. I don't know. That was just something that just crossed into my head. I mean, it's supposed to be like 50s-esque, so I figured there would be, you know, maybe a bit of a piano, like a jazz kind of thing going on. That was just a standard 50s chord progression. Actually, I think that would lead me to ukulele time. So, what should I play? I know I already played this earlier. This was from a video I watched. It was basically a mashup of Fingertips by They Might Be Giants. Really good band. And combining that with various different Beatles songs. And I think one that stuck out with me the most was the Love Game thing, and then it would just combine it with Wild Honey Pie. Okay. Think it went a little something like this. The day that love came to play. Of course, their version, they usually go down the scale. But because my ukulele doesn't go lower than that, I usually go up the scale. Hang on, let me see if I can pull up the video. Yeah, Music Box Rocks. I recommend that video. Highly recommend it. Something like Bewitched. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of for like a theme, maybe. Actually, yeah, that's a very good idea. Yes, I'm pretty sure I've heard the Bewitched theme song plenty of times. But I don't want to get sued by Sony, so I'm not really gonna use that theme song per se. I don't even know if I could play it on my ukulele. But I know what I can play. I think it went something like this. Hang on. Most of you would say My Name Is by Slim Shady. But it was a trick question. It was actually, I got that by what was this? What was the name? It was Labby Sifre? Is that how you say his name? I am so sorry if I butcher your name. But yeah, it could be interpreted as My Name Is as well. What's another good song I know? What do you think of I Dream a Genie? I like the concept. Haven't really seen an entire episode of it per se, and I do like the theme song. Of course that has a memorable theme tune. I mean, it was sampled by Will Smith, for crying out loud. The song was called These Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble or something like that. And I think there was another song that sampled it. That sampled I Dream a Genie. Hang on, let me look it up. I don't really know if I can find it. Sucker DJ. Hang on, let me take a look at it. Yeah, Sucker DJ Genie Mix. Okay, what's a good song? I would play All Star, but I don't know how to play it, so. Yeah. What else can I play? Maybe something like this. Did you guess it? That's right, a barely recognizable version of Living in the Sunlight. Actually, I should have said something like this. Actually, I think I got a good tune. Did you guess it? No, silly. Stairway to Heaven. Every guitar store is gonna hate me after this. Yay. Okay. One more. Yeah, one more. What's a good one? What is a good one? think it just went like that throughout the entire song. Rest in peace, Tom Petty. You're a good man. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why not that 4-chord song? Oh yes, I love that 4-chord song! You know, the one that goes... But in all seriousness, I fall asleep to those chords. Chevrolet was a huge sponsor of Bewitched. I already knew that, honestly. Okay, what's a good one? Wait, why did I say one more song and then immediately go to another song? I don't know. I sometimes don't understand myself. Okay, maybe you'll know this if you watch a lot of Vicky Ticky, as I like to call it. It's fun to run, it's fun to play, it's fun to make things out of clay, it's fun to fill your car with gas, it's fun to break things made of glass. I don't know what it was called. But for now, I'm just gonna call it Broken Glass. If you watch a lot of Vicky Ticky, or Victorious, you'll recognize it. Actually, another song I like was Another Postcard by Bare Naked Ladies. Yes, that's the actual name of the band. Yes, I'm probably going to regret saying this because this might get age restricted. What else? But I can't really play it on the ukulele right now because, well, I don't really know the song. What's a good one? That was a little snippet of Me, I Get High on Reefer by the Two-Man Gentleman Band. In case you don't know who they are, they're the duo that performed the theme song for Wander Over Yonder. They're an amazing duo. Especially as a band, you know? I mean, it's literally in the name. And I think Andy Bean, the main guy behind the group, I think he's actually worked on 2 of Craig McCracken's most recent works. Of course, the aforementioned Wander Over Yonder, and I think he also worked on Kid Cosmic, another show I ended up liking. Maybe not as much as Wander, but yeah. Alright. What do you think of the song Birdhouse in Your Soul? They might be giants. Oh, yeah. Birdhouse in Your Soul. I've only really heard it, like, once or twice. So... maybe everything is catching... No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a major chord. You know, for the very first part of Fingertips, which is like every... But I don't really think it was the D chord. Everything is catching on fire. That's all I'm really gonna say. for right now. Okay, I think... You know what? I think that just about does it for right now. So, how should I end this off, you might add?